Hello, everybody. Everett Abrams, a Wizard of Wood, and today I want to share a story. I like stories. Share a story with you. Um, the other day we had a little mix-up. Somebody was supposed to go to an estimate and hadn't gone, and I called, spoke to him, and said, "Hey, I'll head over there." It was just for a deck build. So usually when we go with a deck build, we take samples of the products that we use. Mostly it's Trex for us, so we have all the Trex samples. I did not have them in my truck. I was out looking at a large, like a compound property with all kinds of wood on it, log cabins, decks, garages, outbuildings and stuff that were all wood, bridge, all kinds of stuff. It was pretty neat. So anyway, I rushed over to do this estimate. And when I got over there, I started speaking to the couple that own the homeowners, and I got a feel for what they wanted to do. They have a smaller deck that's about 38 years old. It really is not in good shape. They were hoping they could maybe do something with it. At 38 years, it doesn't owe you anything, and I explained that to them. I also explained that basically there's one beam off of the deck. It's a 16 by 16 deck now, and there's a beam at 8 foot. The 8 foot mark, the middle, and that's it. And then the rest, it just goes out to a rim joist, and that's it. It's just supported by a couple 4x4 posts. I can't believe this deck has made it as long as it did. It's a 8 foot cantilever at that point. Anyway, as I'm talking to them, and I'm talking to them about the deck and the framing, I'm going into detail about how the deck should be built. That it needs a new frame, it needs a new footings, new everything. That we wouldn't use 4x4s, we would use 6x6 posts, especially on a second story deck. So we're going to beef this thing up, and I told them it needed a new one. So a new frame for the new deck. So as I'm going into that, and then I'm starting to explain to them the difference between PVC, polymers, composites, and so forth. In detail as far as the different material, different products and so forth. Now mind you, I did not have my samples with me. So as I'm explaining this to them, I have their full attention. They're even complimented me while I was there about my knowledge. And I think if you know your craft really well, that really comes through. Now, the interesting thing about this is, as I reflect back on this whole interaction with the couple, is I got the job, and I got the job quickly. So we're doing a contract signing this week, and we will be rebuilding the deck, building a new deck, and with all plans, architect, permits, licensing, zoning, everything. And that's how it should be done. And I explained that too at the time of the estimate. So they're going with me. The one thing they asked about, though, was about Fiberon and some other stuff that people showed up with. This video is not about the different products or why I choose to front with Trex, although we're Wolf Pros, Trex Pros, TimberTech, AZEK, and Decorators. And we use those quite often. We've done Fiberon decks as well. Not my thing, but we all, whatever our business model is, it is. Anyway, getting away from that, as I talked to this customer, my professionalism, my knowledge, everything came forward. They felt really comfortable with me. They went with me. And then he explained to me why he went with me. And he said it was basically because of everything I just mentioned. He said, you really know your stuff, your presence online. We also know one of your customers that you've had before, and they spoke highly of you. It was not mentioned initially. So there was a lot of reasons why they went with me. So as I look back, those other people showed up with their samples, as I started to say, the Fiberon, the whatever else. They mentioned something else. It was TimberTech, I'm sorry. So at least 3 people showed up. One discussed Trex me, one was TimberTech, one was Fiberon. I don't know how many other people, or if they got more than 3, but those were the ones that were mentioned. They showed up. So anyway, they're comfortable with me, they're going with me. I look back on it and I say, why did they go with me? They were impressed that the other people that they got estimates from, all the ones they said they got estimates from, brought samples. I did not. I didn't know I was going to have to. I mentioned to them that when I send over the estimate, and I give them a link, that when I would meet with them again if they wanted to move forward, and we could go over specific products and product lines and so forth, and the colors and so forth. And I outlined what those estimates were, and we did discuss some of them at the job, and then I put them in the estimate, or at the estimate at the time, and then put them on the estimate so that they could also look at that for the link. Not how I normally do it. So I get the job, and I have to reflect back. Did I get the job because I was better that day? Because I knew that I did not have my samples, and I felt like I had to be that much better in my presentation. So was I better? Was I more on point? Was I really that good that day? Was I a step better than I normally am? And I have to look back at that and wonder if that was a difference maker, and should I do that more often, or how should I do that? Secondly, the other part of it is when I come out and I give people the samples and I'm showing them the different product lines and I'm discussing them, and then I start to do the estimate, they're talking, they're doing whatever, they're looking at the colors, they're, the attention isn't so much on me. So maybe they were more focused on me because I did not have those samples. So they keyed in on everything I was talking about and being very descriptive. So maybe that was part of it. So long story short, I'll tell you what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to leave, I believe, this is what's in my head now, and that's why I'm sharing this video. I'm thinking I'm probably going to keep the samples in the vehicle and not bring it out at the initial meet, and then looking over the job and so forth, and inspection of a deck or whatever we're doing. And then at some point, let me go get the samples so I can show them to you and talk about them. And then the attention is where it should be, on the samples and on those, and not all over the place. So anyway, a little food for thought. Anybody watching this video, hopefully that helps you. It certainly helped me and made me rethink how people are focused on me. People have shorter attention spans today, so distracting them with samples and other stuff could be distracting. So when the focus is on me and I'm the show and I'm there to, let them know that I know my craft, just my knowledge, and get that comfortability with them. And what we're trying to do today is build a trust with a customer. And that's where it starts. They trusted me and not the other folks to build their new deck based off of the things I was saying. So that's really key. So if I got better eye contact, maybe because I didn't have those samples, maybe I was more on point, maybe I was really thinking about what I was doing and not even distracted myself with measuring and getting, all the other information I need to do the estimate. So anyway, food for thought, something you guys should think about maybe when you're out there doing an estimate or you're presenting to a customer. Knowledge is key. Make sure that you share it. Make sure that the customer knows. But figure out a way how that can be more precise, more direct, more focused on how you deliver that. I bet it makes a big difference. I'm rethinking it. Maybe just being around for a long time and in the industry and so forth, I probably have taken a little bit for granted or just become a little automatic, and that kind of opened my eyes. Hopefully you enjoyed this story. A little bit long, but food for thought. Maybe it'll help somebody. You guys have a good day. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.